on the side of New World, they picked up this Ling as well. And I honestly, this is going to be a very I do not pity you right now for doing the play-by-play for a Ling and a Lance being played at this level. Going to be all over the map.
All over the place. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are jumping in to the first game of the grand finals, and I got to say, I think the Ling pick was a good pick. It gave New Wave, it gave them, they had the late game, and now they've sealed the deal with a little bit of early game pressure. So they just have an all-around well-done comp, but so has Insomniacs. They have the Lunox for late game damage, they have the Farza for late game burst, and they have this Lancelot for the early game. So it's definitely a hard call to tell on who won this draft. Both teams bringing in nice counters to the other teams.
Well, and then for me right now, I'm kind of wondering for Ling, what is his target going to be here? The only real one I see is probably a Farja, unless the rest of his team can go ahead and burst him down before Ling dives in. We see Hate here putting on a little bit of pressure here. Yeah, into Nikto's jungle.
I feel like a Farza against a Ling, it would be kind of hard to even catch a Ling, especially with the Farza pick. However, I think Lunox would be a good pick against Ling at least.
Look at the aggression from Insomniacs, though, coming in, slowing down Nikto on this jungle. Pogi is going to steal that camp, and he's going to even go up and try to steal this other camp. He is alone this time, though. Needs to be careful, play safe. Is he going to be able to take it? He does take that camp, and now he's going to back off. Tamal Nikto trying to zone in. Nikto not able to get on that wall and chase him down.
Yeah, a lot of aggression on the side of Insomniacs right now, able to steal away. I think it was 2 camps that they were able to take away as well. So it's definitely going to put a little bit of a stutter into Nikto's jungle and his level 4.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Ling's still level 3-2, but I look at them going back and forth at each other's jungle, just trying to trade camps. Nikto able to take that one, but he is a little overextended. Yala doing some nice damage. Doctor's there to help CC him up a little bit and help Nikto get away, but Nikto's going to have to go back to base after this.
You guys were pointing out about how Poggy was stealing all of Nikto's jungle, but I want to point out Nikto got to level 4 before Poggy got to level 4. So that delay didn't even matter.
Yeah.
And it just comes down to how these players can deal with this type of aggression. They don't freak out, they don't panic, they just move on with it. If they're not going to get that camp, they move on and keep farming up.
Oh, Ziggy doing a nice falling Star Moon onto Gala. And a little bit of damage. Nikto pushing forward, able to get the kill onto Gala. 2 kills going to the side of New Wave. And now Hate forced under this tower. I mean, New Wave keeping up some nice aggression and just putting a nice pace to this game right now.
Yeah, 2 kills for New Wave, even though they did let that turtle go over to Insomniac. So it's there's some answers here, and it's really interesting, and especially with what Isaiah brought up. Even though they are losing some of these objectives, even though they are getting their jungle taken, still maintaining their cool, still able to get their level 4 beforehand, and still able to capitalize on even losing some of these objectives.
Yeah, but Pogi in a bit of a bad position up in this bush right now, is going to be surrounded. Does come in on to Tamal. Tamal is going to get stopped. I don't know if that was a bait or if he was really just trying to go back to base there. Hate's going to, look at this, wait for it. Wait for the wall, wait for the wall. Oh, no, he decided to let him go back way back in the mid. Nikto is engaging on to Gala, uses that Tempest of Blades to lock down, decides to disengage Ashley with the Feathered Airstrike, not able to connect those shots, though.
Yeah, Dogtor and Nikto very able to disengage very quickly out of that Feathered Airstrike. It kind of, and usually Feathered Airstrikes are usually set up with that first ability of Farja's to go ahead and slow them down. So I mean, I guess it was more just to kind of ward them off a bit rather than to actually get too much damage done onto them.
Yeah, Hate continues to be aggressive.
I just want to point out that Hate did just steal Nikto's blue buff right there. Just with his first skill.
This is
wow.
So this is the thing that Grok can do is come in. He does have the defense, and it's what he used to be used for in the past when he was,
right.
and him and Kufro were like the meta way back. And it seems like he's getting some of that revivability, is able to push Nikto back, and Nikto can't even go to try to take this camp here. Pogi coming in. They are dashing in. Tempest of Blades used just to get away. And I don't know who got that camp, but still the aggression coming from the side of Insomniacs right now. Even though they're at a kill deficit, they're able to keep up in this game.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Ling kind of on a back foot here, especially when Ling loses that blue buff. It can be a little detrimental to him being able to connect all those cooldowns for him.
Yeah, we are having a bit of a battle up in the top. Kraxi will go down. Pogi dashing up. Japanese needing to go back to base once again. But this is just, it's an interesting game right now. We're at 3-0. The gold is practically even, though. And both teams just consistently pushing back into each other. But not so much that there's any huge team fight.
Yeah, both turtles have gone over to the side of Insomniacs, but New Wave still has the gold lead here and able to answer with another kill as well. So, I mean, a very even game here so far.
Right.
I think it's going to come down to, I want to see, like, probably a little bit more protection on New Wave's blue buff here. Grok has basically just been able to kind of, like, bully his way into the jungle since the beginning of this game. And I think that's going to be one of the key points for this game as well.
I think a problem that what Insomniacs need to worry about here, wait a second, Tempest of Blades coming down onto Gala, but it's more just an escape technique. Once again, Gala coming in onto Poki, doing some damage, but we're just, the damage from Dyroth, man, is just insane up in the top. I mean, they're just back and forth, but no one's going down. But wait, hold my breath. Down goes Nikta. Gala able to get that kill. No, Pogi able to get that kill.
I've noticed that Nikto is always using his ability to even escape, not really to engage, and I feel like that's the reason why he just died there.
Well, yeah, and then there's the fact of, like, who is he going to be targeting with that?
Right.
That's what I was saying from the beginning here. What is he gonna? Who is his target for this? Tamal looks actually in trouble here.
Yeah, he is using the Nimon on blast, though, able to land it down. A couple tower shots to hit. Can the finish come in? Not able to get the kill, but the tower goes down. Insomniacs now taking 2 towers on the map, and one of those is the mid tower, which is going to be huge for them.
Yeah, that map, if they weren't invading their jungle before, which they were, like, this is definitely going to open it up for the tide of Insomniacs here to be able to... Oh, it's like Ashley using that wings by wing to get away. Oh.
So, I mean, one thing I think what New Wave kind of has in their back pocket, which we've seen a lot of, we saw Area 77 completely carry with it earlier. Japanese on this Clint. Yes, he has 1 death. Kraxi's got 2, though. And Clint's known he can take a death and still be extremely damaging in the mid game. He can still scale very, very well. And now that he's going to rotate down to this bottom lane, he's going to have a bit more availability to move around the map. Ziggy with a huge falling star moon, though, into Ashley. In comes the Tempest of Blaze, but it doesn't even matter because she's already taken out. Gala now on the run. Ziggy and Nikto decide to opt back. I think they're going to focus in onto this EXP lane tower and try to answer back with some material of their own.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to start seeing a different game as we start getting more to the late game, as Dog Tour starts coming online, as Japanese starts coming online. Ooh.
Yeah, big play. Nikto will go down. Kraxi and Hate, though, still with the death counters. Back and forth. Dog Tour taking out Gala along with it. Ziggy now chasing down Pogi. A nice feathered airstrike slowing down Tamal. Pogi's going to use that ultimate and the puncture, but it looks like he wants to re-engage. Will get caught up. Phases out of that falling star moon, and Ashley here to back him up. The mechanics right now of some of these team fights definitely off the wall.
Yeah, Poggy definitely wowing out there, but you see Japanese here wisely able to, in the midst of all that chaos, they're able to take out this top tower as well. And I believe we are even on towers now.
We are
even on towers. We are almost even on gold as well, so it is still anyone's game. Have you guys noticed that Team Insomniacs has been securing all the turtles, and New Wave has not bothered to contest for it? I mean, they have contested for the first 2, however, they just let the third one just go to Insomniacs.
Turtle's a dead
Bobby-
objective, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it sounds silly, but as this season has moved forward, a lot of teams have not prioritized Turtle anymore, and they're able to keep the gold even without taking it. It's like the
That is so true.
way to big play though onto Tamal. A beautiful phase out from Pogi, dodging that shot from Dogtor. In comes the Tempest of Blades, though, and he phases out once again, not able to connect onto Pogi, just dodging every shot they send at him. Ziggy trying to come along the back. Pogi wants to re-engage, able to get the kill on to Dogtor. Japanese going down as well. Ziggy may be next as Kraxi comes in from the back. It's a 4-man wipe. On the side of New Wave, they will go down, and now Gala pushes forward. Ziggy all alone, defending this tower with his life.
Yeah, so you see Insomniacs doing a really good job with the early game advantage, especially since their comp is geared towards early game. However, I want to see if they're able to even bring that comp, bring their team into late game, especially since they do have heroes that are geared towards late game on the side of New Wave.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. Like, it's all going to come down to how well New Wave scales into that late game and into those team fights, because I think that's where they're going to actually shine. Not with these kind of like one-off pickoffs here. Oh
Right.
gosh,
Yeah, Nikto in a bit of a bad position, and he just when he re-engages, Gala's there like, hey, back up, get off Ashley. Comes in. They're gonna wrap up this. They're gonna wrap up this Lord. So another objective going to them, and this is with both those towers in the mid lane gone. I'm hoping that they really sync up these lanes well and take away even more from these off lanes, and this should really help seal the deal for Insomniacs, because like you guys said, they don't want to let it get too late game with Japanese on this Clint, with Dogtor on the Sicilian. They need to try to wrap this up as soon as possible.
Yeah, and it's coming down to like as they were taking these other turtles, was that a part of New Wave's game plan, or are they just not having are they not able to get these objectives? Because I mean, it's one thing to get a turtle, but it's another thing to let them have a Lord as well.
Yeah, but look at this back play. Nikto coming in on Ashley, so Gala able to get the kill. Gala and Ashley go down, but Lord is crashing down on the inhibitor, and this is something we saw from Insomniacs last time. You know, yes, you take 2 kills, but we're going to keep chipping away at your towers.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not sure if that was worth it for the side of New Wave here. Down to only their inhibitors here. Their entire jungle basically belongs to Insomniacs if they want. So I think we're going to start seeing a lot more engagements, a lot more... Oh!
Tempest of Blades comes down. Japanese pushing forward. Kraxi will go down Tamal with that flicker ult. Not quite able to connect though. Poggy in the back line, a little cornered here. 4 members coming in. Japanese doing some nice damage. Ziggy with the falling star moon just to try to catch up. They are going to chase him to the end of the world. Tamal falls into the hands of a feathered airstrike and will get taken off the map. The back and forth right now. Poggy with that puncture through wants to try to contest for this blue buff. They need to keep it out of the hands of Nikto. Gala creating some space, and Pogi will secure that blue buff.
Yeah, a New Wave is having a heck of a time trying to answer this Lance right now. They cannot catch him. They cannot kill him. He's only got 1 kill right now. He is just all over the place, and I don't really see what they can do to kind of answer that right now. I think this might have been an issue with maybe their draft, and Ziggy face checking this bush. But not a ton of damage actually going on there from Ashley.
At this point, I don't even know what New Wave could even do. I feel like Team Insomniacs has been doing a really good job. They aren't getting picked on. They are still like winning objectives regardless.
And most definitely, as they are raging in. Ashley with another sus ult there does create some space for their team, but Tamal will go down. I think the answer for New Wave, honestly, is wait for Cecilia. Dogtor just needs to get farmed up.
Yeah.
They need. I think it's it's a 20-minute type game for them, or 16+ minute type game for them. Survive out the first 2 lords and really just push for the end game. Use Nikto as more of a macro, controlling waves, not really for these team fights, and just buy enough time for Japanese and Dogtor to get online. A nice wall coming from Hate though, blocking off Ziggy's escape, but she doesn't want to run. She uses the Falling Star Moon to get out. In comes Pogi, puncturing through, uses the ultimate to disengage, and just the movements from him of, testing it every time, in, out, in, out.
Yeah, he's just he's so slippery right now. But we do see an engagement here. It looks like they're not going to go ahead and let this this Lord be taken without at least some type of an engagement from the side of New Wave.
Well, considering that all their teammates are up, you will see a contest at the Lord, but they did just back off. Considering that some of them are still under cooldown for their ulti.
Not only that, but Nick, I mean, you know, it's hard to go for a Lord when your enemy team has a Ling with Retribution. He's just so good at stealing those moves. Ziggy, though, is stuck in that wall, forces the falling Star Moon just to get away, but Hate does not want to give up. Gala coming around the side, trying to catch Ziggy off guard, but walks right into Dogtor's Bat's Feast. Now taking some damage from Japanese. A nice wall to create space and let Gala get away here. But while this is happening, Nikto in the top lane taking a tower.
Yeah, Insomniacs are just so good at supporting the getaway. Every single member of their team, it's just these little things like the wall or the slow from Farja. It's just New Wave is having a heck of a time trying to actually close the distance and then actually be able to get a kill off of it. But you did see that they were actually able to get a tower up top. And this is what happens with Lings. If you're not able to get the kills, if you're not able to actually get those ganks, the smartest thing for you to do is to actually just go ahead and start pushing those side lanes.
And now, and not only that, but Ziggy's also scaled away, a little knocked up, but he's just able to get away every time. And that's something you got to point out with both teams. They've both been doing an amazing job at engaging and disengaging. And, you know, it's not a huge death count for 15 minutes, or at least it's even. Bogey taking a bit of damage this time. And this is Dogtor in Japanese. They're finally starting to scale. And it's going to be hard for Bogey to make those crazy engages like he was. Hate forced to flicker away. Ziggy, though, chasing in. Does have that ultimate way to use it. Kamal, though, will go down to the feathered airstrike. And this is where Gal's trying to push in, taking a bit too much damage from Japanese, though, forced to flicker back. In comes a puncture through with Pogi, able to get the kill onto Nikto, but will have to be forced into that immortality. Japanese getting locked up, and a nice flicker in from Craxy, make it a triple coming in, and now Insomniacs is going to focus in on this Lord.
So even when New Wave had the advantage and it looked like they could actually turn their attention to the Lord, Hate went ahead and boxed the Lord out of his little hole here so that he couldn't even reset properly. And then they had to go ahead and try to give chase to Hate. Oh, that that was wonderful.
Yeah, and it looks like, I mean, they may take game one right here. Only two members of New Wave left. Ziggy, Tamal. Tamal does get knocked up, and it looks like they're going to chase after Ziggy instead, backing off. I mean, I get it. The death counters are kind of low, so let's just try to get this kill and put us at even more advantage. Lord still barreling down the mid. I'm wondering if this is smart. Well, stop chasing Ziggy. Push this wave.
I do think it's a smart play considering that they do have Lord up. If they get at least one kill, like Esmeralda, that does give New Wave a disadvantage whenever they have Lord up. Well, they're already too close, never mind.
Craxy
Ziggy took them. I'm sorry, I know Ziggy died, but took them to Juke City. It was just all over this place.
Right.
Craxy, though, will go down, and Ziggy able to buy enough time to get his team back on the map, and not only that, but by positioning them in those spots, they're also able to get a kill onto Craxy, who's been kind of carrying this game for the side of Insomniacs a little. As we come in the late game, at least.
Yeah. Like I said, I just want to see the team fight coming from the side of New World, because right now they're just kind of getting outplayed and out macroed here. There's a few things that we've been seeing with the little saving graces there. You saw Ziggy able to help his team by negotiating the rest of the team Insomniacs away while his team was able to take down that Lord. But I just definitely want to see better setups on the side of New Wave here.
Yeah. I mean, one thing we have to point out, Japanese just locked in that Blade of Despair. He's got the Endless Battle. He's got Malefic Roar. He is where he needs to be right now. He's probably going to finish off with an Athena's Shield to help deal with the burst damage coming from Farza. But he's set. Dogtor also becoming set. And at this point, you know, we're closing in on that 20-minute mark I was talking about. Ziggy becoming almost impossible to kill. And this is when we're going to see New Wave, I think, start to take off. Able to get a nice pick onto Ashley. Kraxi not even wanting to engage, sitting in this bush. Is he going to pick off Japanese here? Waiting for the moment.
Nah, I think that she's just gonna go ahead and decide.
I don't know. Wait for it.
Have you guys been watching the items on Insomniacs? We don't have any anti-lifesteal except for Domin's Ice Up and Direwolf.
Hold on, wait a bit. Hate goes down. The rest of the team coming in tomorrow with that new one on blast. 3 members of Insomniacs make that 4. Pogi all alone now with 5 of New Wave standing up. They decide to not push. They want to play a save. Let's take this Lord. We know we can start winning these team fights now.
Yeah, and those are the engagements I was talking about. It just when the entire team is on the same level, on the same, I guess, note here to be able to go ahead and it almost wiped out Insomniacs here and able to take this Lord. So now they're actually starting to come in, like you said, with those item checks there. Japanese and Dogtor are starting to come online here.
But yeah,
and like you said, they don't.
There is no anti-lifesteal on the side of Insomniacs, which may be a. I mean, they have no way to deal with that Esmeralda. And I guess the plan was, you know, end this fast. Like, we don't want to even waste time on the anti-lifesteal. We know we have them even without it. But now that we're creeping into 20 minutes, it's obvious they don't. So do we see, you know, do they even have enough time to sell items and pick up some more anti-lifesteal?
Then, like, if you're running 2 mage, like, at least have 1 mage build anti-lifesteal. At least have 1 mage build necklace.
Yeah, but they are pushing in. Ziggy with the Fallen Star Moon right under the inhibitor. Tempest of Blades goes off, does a little bit of poke damage. The Lord is getting melted down. A New Wave wants to lock in. Nikto jumping to that back, sending them to the base. Down goes Hate, though. You will be taken out. The rest of the team pushed back a little bit. Tamal, a little low on health, forced to back off. The Feathered Airstrike does come in to create a bit of breathing room, but New Hate does not care. They're going to lock onto this inhibitor and take game 1.
That was a tough game, especially since Insomniacs was having that complete control of the early game, but we did know that New Wave was, they were choosing heroes to even scale for late game, and that's exactly what they planned for.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it was kind of like ill-prepped, as you said, on the side of Insomniacs for not having that anti-heal there. I believe when you get so far ahead, especially in the early game, you go for that raw damage. You don't even go for that Pierce or that Genius one. You go for that, I forgot what the heck it is. You go for the Holy Crystal or that awesome damage that you can do. And it looks like somewhere along the way, they kind of like just didn't think about the anti-heal that would be needed about the Esmeralda, which kind of probably would have been on my mind after we had a 5-man chase for her with like Benny Hill music in the background when they weren't able to push with that Lord.
But I mean, but honestly, like, Esmeralda, when you get to the late game, you don't, you know, Gallo wasn't, and those are the situations, I mean, where sometimes the Dairoth just doesn't do the work it needs to. She 2-1-12. She just got too far, and I think even picking up 1 anti-lifesteal item, you know, putting Ashley with that, it still may have not been enough. Ashley also was, you know, yes, she was able to do some zoning there, but she was never really able to get into a good position because I think she was just so worried about Nikto on the Ling, worried about Dogtor with the range. She never really was, her presence wasn't as felt as it normally is when she runs on that Farza.
Yeah, and